Oh,
Right,
okay.
we are recording. Welcome to our live Beachbody Coach informational webinar, frequently asked question, whatever you want to call it. So Kirsten and I have been I've been a coach for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in December, which is actually mind-blowing. So we like to do these webinars usually about once a month just to share our story and share this opportunity with everyone around us because it's completely changed our lives.
Yeah, I feel like it would be doing a disservice if we didn't share the information because, ultimately we wouldn't be here if someone didn't share that information with us. So it's kind of our way of paying it forward. And I know there can be a little bit of gray area. Like you might go to our Facebook or our Instagram and be like, how on earth is this their job, their full-time job? How are they no longer, a pharmacist and a dental hygienist? How is that even real life? And we're here to show you that it truly is real life. And there's a reason why the bulk of women who make more than 6 figures per year do it through network marketing, actually. So that's a fun statistic for you. So we will start off by sharing with you kind of where we were at when we began, kind of what our story is and where our mindset was. For me, I was at the heaviest weight I had been, and my coach actually had messaged me and invited me. And I said no quite a few times before, just to be, a challenger in one of our fitness groups. It was actually a 3-week challenge. And even that, 21 days I couldn't do. I was like, no, I can't do that. And then I decided, after a trip to Mexico, I didn't really feel like myself. I never took any pictures. I was like, you know what? I am like, at the time, what I would have been, 25, 24. It's like, I'm way too young to feel this miserable. So I need to take action. So I thought, what do I have to lose? I'll try it. And I tried it and I loved the programs. I loved the community. And it came with a bag of Shakeology. And I had never used like protein powders or anything like that before, but I didn't really know it wasn't a protein powder. It's a superfood smoothie. And having IBS, I don't know if anyone on this call has IBS or knows someone who struggled with severe IBS. After my first month of drinking it, I started noticing that I didn't have symptoms, that I didn't need to like map out where bathrooms were when I would go to the mall or, be really mindful of that on road trips. So it's a really debilitating condition. So that was super helpful. And I actually signed up just for the discount on that. That's what I wanted. That's where I started. So I signed up strictly for the discount. And long story short, people just started noticing and asking questions that I was getting healthy, that I was happier, that I was losing weight. And it just kind of naturally progressed into me sharing it authentically and people asking me questions. And I just wanted to help my friends. So yeah, that's kind of my story. Nothing exciting, but I'm cheap and I wanted a discount and it made me feel really good. So that's that.
That's so awesome. And so for me, my story is a little bit different, but I played college sports. I played college volleyball for 3 years, and then I got into pharmacy school, which was amazing. But at that point, I had to decide, am I going to pursue full-time school or am I going to play sports and school? And I decided just to do pharmacy. And it was a really hard transition. I don't know if any of you guys have played sports in the past, but it's like your team and like your family. And so that first year of pharmacy school, I was still going to the gym. I still wanted to be active, but there was a missing link. And I ended up gaining about 15, 20 pounds, which for me is a lot because I had never gained weight in my life. And I remember specifically one morning I was getting ready for pharmacy school and we had to dress professionally for school. I was putting on these red dress pants and I literally could not do up the button and it was the worst feeling ever. And I was just like, how did this happen? Like, how are my clothes not fitting? And I was really at the point where I needed to go and buy bigger clothes because all of my clothes were starting to get to the point where it was uncomfortable to wear them. I had muffin tops at the top. And like, although I'm tall, I couldn't fit into my clothes that normally always fit. So randomly on Facebook, I saw my coach post a before and after picture of a girl. And I was like, ugh. I look like that girl's before picture and I really, really want to look like that after picture. And so I decided to join this online fitness group and just see what it was all about because what I was doing clearly wasn't working. So I decided to invest At that time, it was 200, a little bit more than 200 Canadian dollars. And I went all in, you guys. And in 1 month, I lost 12 pounds and finally committed to a workout program, finally stuck to a nutrition program, and felt so good. I fit back in my clothes, and it was like, how did that happen in 1 month when the whole past year I was literally trying to do that? And it was because of the challenge groups, because every day they were posting stuff. I was super motivated and excited to be a part of a family and a part of a team. So I didn't start as a coach. I just started as a customer and fell in love with the workouts and the community and everything like that. And then I messaged my coach and I said, hey, I think I want to be a coach. I don't even really know what that means, but I think I want to do what you do. And so that's where my story began.
Isn't it amazing how it's all so, I don't even know if serendipitous is the word, but how all these like small little decisions can have such a drastic change in the trajectory of your life. It's absolutely wild. Like the fact that I'm cheap got me here. Like, it's amazing. The fact that I like need discounts and bargains and I'm a bargain hunter, I'm like, okay, that's amazing. So that is incredible. And then the next thing that I had on here, a lot of people ask, do you need to be super fit to be a coach? And I was 30 pounds heavier when I started coaching. I wouldn't make it through T25 without taking a break. I started coaching not because I was super fit and wanted to show off my abs. I started coaching because I knew there were people out there like me who needed me to tell them they could do it. Because there's someone out there that looks like you and is waiting for you to inspire them. Because you know what? When I go on Instagram and I see a size 0 super skinny, that doesn't inspire me. That does not inspire me. But when I see a girl with a big size 10 booty getting out there and doing it and doing the work, I'm like, yeah, that looks like me. She's doing it. I can do that. So there's someone out there who looks like you, who wants to be inspired by you. And the nice thing about being a Beachbody coach is we're not known for being, fitness professionals or, bikini models. That's not what we're known for. We're known for being real people, getting real results and sharing our journey authentically. So if you have any like qualms about, your size, your weight, your hair color, whatever, that does not matter. What matters is what's in here. And if you love the programs, if you love the products, you love the community, and you want to share that with people, you're officially qualified to be a Beachbody coach. Okay?
Pretty awesome. So another thing that I wanted to touch on that a lot of people have questions about is what happens when you become a coach? Like, are you a part of some team training or what happens? Everyone asks that question. So yes, we have a new coach training, which is absolutely amazing. You can work at it at your own pace. I know when I signed up as a coach, I flew through it because I was so excited and I knew that I loved the workout programs. I loved everything about it. So I just wanted to share about it. So I dove in. So if you're already in love with Beachbody workouts and the products and everything, you'll probably just fly through the training because it doesn't even feel like work. You're already interested in it, so you're going to fly through it. But we have a private Facebook group and we have trainings. There's about 20 different lessons and it sets you up for success. All the questions that you have as a new coach will be answered. Kirsten and I also do team calls together, usually once a week. And we also have the National Wake Up Call, which is hosted by Beachbody every single Monday morning, and they have a top coach on that call, which gives tips and tricks and how they are growing a successful business, which is absolutely amazing. I've tuned into every single one since I became a coach, and I've learned so much from other coaches, which is really cool because they may not even be in your organization or part of your team, but they're sharing ways to grow your business, which is absolutely amazing that you have all access to all of this training to grow a successful business. Like it's really cool that you aren't just thrown to the wolves and like, figure it out, grow your business online. It's like, no. We are here to mentor you, show you the ropes, help you, and teach you exactly what we've done to be successful.
Absolutely. And lots of times people think that you need to have fitness experience, business experience, social media experience. Like, I call BS on all three because I wasn't fit. I went to dental hygiene school, so I have no business background whatsoever. Social media, I had like 100 friends on Facebook and didn't have an Instagram. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's so simple. And especially, oh my gosh, ever since Instagram became more popular with Instagram stories, it is legit the easiest way to grow this business, because we're in the business of building relationships. And what better way to build a relationship than to share who you are via stories? It takes a matter of seconds to do that. And we all might think like, oh, but I don't take the best pictures, and I don't have like that curated blogger style Instagram. But you know what? That's not real life. Everybody knows that's not real life. People want you. People want real. They want someone to tell them a story, someone to inspire them with their everyday life. So don't worry about the experience needed, because you just have to have a story to tell. And I know every single one of you watching this has a story to tell. And I know a lot of people talk about the financial situation when they started. Some people are working their way out of debt. They're starting with nothing. They're having to sell. I know a friend of ours was telling me they had to sell their dining room table and chair set in order to get enough money together to buy their first challenge pack, back when it was just DVDs for one single program. And that changed their life. And then they signed up, and they're one of the top coaches in the industry now. So just know that you don't have to be, already successful, right? You don't become great just by being great. You have to build to that. So we began because we loved it and we saw results ourselves, and we keep going because now we realize that you can make an impact and make a living. That's kind of amazing that you can make an impact and make a living and not feel guilty about that, because you are helping people. And you get to do it beside your sleeping cat or beside your kids or wherever the heck you want to do it. That's kind of beautiful. Yeah, we both have our sleeping children beside us. That's lovely. And then we want to talk about who makes a good coach. Some of the qualities that are really, really good for a new coach, but in some common misconceptions. We already talked about you don't have to be fit. You don't have to be really prevalent on social media or not understand social media to begin. But to be a good coach, you got to love the products and programs. You can't just show up and be like, oh, I think I'm going to make some money doing this, but I don't really know. I don't really care about the products and programs. Chances are, if you're on this call, if you're watching, you already either love Beachbody products, you love the community, you are inspired by a coach to be here and want to learn more. You usually have a passion for what we offer.
Yeah. And I definitely think that some people have brought up in the past that, oh, this is, a pyramid scheme or something like that. But the really cool thing about this, you guys, is whoever you sign up under, you can ultimately surpass them. You can make more money than them. So this is definitely not a pyramid scheme, because in a pyramid scheme, the person on top always makes more money. And that's not the case with Beachbody. It's level playing field. You can make more than the person that signed you up, and there is limitless potential in this business. I know when I signed up, I watched a webinar similar to this, and the girl was sharing about how she signed up and she was in crazy amounts of debt, and she was able to make an income sharing her journey, her fitness journey after having her first child, and the potential that she showed. I was like, wow. Is she lying? Like, honestly, that's what I thought at first. Like, is this real? And, I just decided to trust her. And I was like, you know what? This is a regular girl and she was able to do this. Why not me? Why can't I do that? So I just dove in and I was excited about the business. And I just wanted to see what would happen if I committed to it. Now, I'm going to tell you guys straight up that in your first month, you're not going to make 10 grand. That's not going to happen. And if you see that on social media, someone's like, oh, join our team, you'll make $1,000 your first week. It's like, you should be questioning that, because that is questionable. Like, it's like any business out there. It's going to take hard work and you're going to have to put in the effort. It's like going to school. You have to go to school for 4 years before you get a degree to even make money. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about Beachbody is that you can put in the work and effort and start earning as you're learning. You don't have to know everything and then start. You get to start and learn as you go. And it's a really cool opportunity to be able to learn as you go and make money as you go.
Absolutely. And it's not like where you start, let's say, I at one time was considering starting a dental hygiene clinic with some girls I graduated with. And we had gone to banks and talked about, the amount of money that we would have to accrue to launch this business. And it was $460,000 to get the equipment, to get the insurance, to get the licensing, to get the equipment. It was just insane. And we just looked at each other, we're like, well, we don't have that. And they're like, well, you can go through, here, get a line of credit through this. You can get, a grant through the government for this. And we were just like glazing over, and it was like buzzing. We're like, thank you for your time, good sir. But like, we walked away because we're like, that's unrealistic. When would we ever make money, or ever? Like, this wasn't guaranteed. It was terrifying. So like Jen said, you start because you just got your product, and then your coach sign up is essentially free if you've ever got a challenge pack. So then from there, everything is bank. Like, there's no stock, there's no inventory that you keep. You don't have to ship anything out. You don't have a room full of stuff to the ceiling and making trips to the post office. Thank gosh. Beachbody does that for you. You pay a $15 coach office fee every month, and that covers everything you need to run your business. Gives you a website. It gives you all the shipping, all the inventory, all the customer service, everything, a website, everything you need. That's it. So it is one of the most low investment startups that you can actually do. And what's worst case scenario? You get fit, you make 0 sales, and you get super fit, and you're happy and you're healthy. It's a pretty good worst case scenario, if I do say so myself. And I'm like hopping all over the place here, Jen, so I apologize.
We always do that. We get on a little tangent because we feel just so passionate.
And it's funny, we have an outline. Like, we sit before and we're like, Kate, let's follow this. And then we both are like, bye to the outline. Let's improvise.
So I guess we could go to what exactly do we do to grow our business each day? We could go to that one.
Sure.
So I will bring you guys back to when I started. I was in pharmacy school working towards my doctorate. So that is an intense program. I was in school, I was in class from usually 9 to 5 in labs, studying for exams, doing assignments, doing case reports, all that stuff. So I didn't have a ton of time to commit to this, but number one, I wanted to commit to my own workouts. And the second thing I did was share about it. Like, it's really not a lot of time that you have to commit to it, but you have to be consistent. And I still, to this day, love sharing about consistency because that has definitely brought me to where I am today. So basically, I'll give you a quick run through of what my day would look like. I would wake up in the morning. I would put a quick post in our little challenge group, our fitness group, for the people that have signed up as a customer under me. Something short and sweet. Post your sweaty selfie below this picture. Post all the meals that you ate today. Post how you're feeling today. Just super little short things like that. Literally took me 3 minutes. And then I would do my workout. At the time I was doing T25. It's a 25-minute workout program, 5 days a week, because I knew I could fit that into my busy schedule. I would go to class, lunch hour, I'd check in, send some messages, invite people to this coaching opportunity, or invite people to our upcoming challenge group. And then at night, between studying and doing assignments, I would put in a little bit of work as well. Same thing, inviting people, making sure that I put a post on social media. And that was about it. That's what I did straight during pharmacy school for 3 straight years. So I would say on average, it was probably about an hour a day. An hour a day. On the weekends, when I had more time, it would maybe be 2 or 3, but I didn't have a ton of time to commit to it. And just to touch on that as well, I get people telling me all the time that they don't have time for this. You guys, if you're working out, if you're scrolling Facebook, if you're scrolling Instagram already, for even 15, 20 minutes, you have time for this. One of my good friends that I met through coaching, she worked 60 hours a week. She was in school to get her doctorate to be a nurse practitioner, and she was still finding time to work out and be a Beachbody coach and a successful Beachbody coach. So if you think you're busy, there's somebody busier that's a Beachbody coach and rocking it.
And busy is a state of mind, right? Like, well, lots of times, I know for me, I would say, well, I'm just too busy to do this. But yet I would know everything that happened in Game of Thrones up until this point. Like I'd know all the details, and I'd know like all the details on Meredith Gray's life. Like ask me anything about Meredith Gray. I know everything about Meredith Gray. So it just comes down to what we make a priority, what we make time for. Because sometimes people are unwilling to, if their goals aren't big enough, if they don't have a vision or a dream, or they don't have a life that they want to pursue, it's hard to make time for that, right? But if you're seeing, a way of life, if you're thinking, man, I don't have a ton of time with my kids because I work 2 jobs and I'm busy, that shouldn't be your excuse. That should be your reason for pushing and getting up early and doing the work, because you can see the potential in yourself and in the business. You should do it because you see a future in it. Okay. And then we talked about kind of the expectations as a coach. Like we said, you're going to share your journey. You're a storyteller now. You are going to get in front of that camera on your Instagram story and talk to your followers. You are going to share your workouts, your food. You're going to share inspiration. You're going to share about your cat and your kids and your, whatever you want, your fashion choices. We aren't just Beachbody. We are Kirsten and we're Virginia. We have a story to tell, and you're going to tell it. You're going to listen to the National Wake Up Call whenever you can throughout the week. You can listen to the recording, you can listen to it live, but that will push your business forward, and we'll link you to that. We'll give you all that information. You're going to be present on social media, because if you're present on social media, that means that your business light on the front, your open sign, is on. That's perfect. And you're going to provide support and guidance for your customers, like Virginia was saying, in our fitness groups. And then one day you might become a business mentor to people on your team as well. And that is a whole other can of worms that we will share with you guys down the road, and we'll teach you to be a good business mentor. So I guess a lot of people want to know about money. People want to talk about the money, and that is okay. And you know what? We're not ashamed to talk about money. We are not ashamed to talk about it, because you know what? We got to pay our bills, and we both saw an opportunity. And for me as a dental hygienist, I have a ceiling. I can't get a promotion. I can't get a raise. And as like a very strong woman, an independent woman, that bothered the heck out of me, knowing that. So you're telling me that where I'm at right now at 20, even at 27, I'm at a cap. I'm as high as I can ever go in my industry, other than maybe several dollars of raises throughout the years. That pissed me off, because I wanted to provide a life for my future family that I knew wouldn't be, within that realm. And I knew I wanted to be home with my future babies. That is what I want. I want to be home. But in 2018, staying home on a single income isn't easy. Ask anyone that does it. It is not easy. It's not 1999 anymore. In 2000, whenever I was born in the 80s, but whatever. It is not the 80s or 90s anymore, when it was really easy and very common for our parents to be home on a single income. So now we have to improvise. And I thought, you know what? I got to make something of this. I have no other education other than dentistry. That is all I have. And it is not transferable. I can't get a, government job. I can't go do, anything else. So I needed to make a way. So we will talk about our income. And I know both Virginia and I, this last week, actually, in the 4.5, 5 years that we've been doing this, were the biggest earning weeks that we've ever had. But I think it's important, before we talk about the big money or the success story, it's important to remember where we started from. And I know for me, my first paycheck was this. My second paycheck was this. My third paycheck was $50. And do you know how excited I was? I was so stinking proud of that. I was like, I get to get my nails done. Like, I get to go somewhere nice. To me, that was success. So it just depends on your mindset, right? To me, that was amazing.
Yeah, and for me, same thing. My first paycheck was $0. My second one was $0. And then my third one was $200, and I think $230, I think it was. And you guys, I signed up in December. So I was so excited to have $230 to put towards Christmas presents to my family, because I had been a student 5 or 6 years at that point. So every Christmas I would come home and I'd go shopping with my mom or dad and just, add my name to whatever present they gave to my brothers and the rest of my family. And that year was the first time that I was actually able to go and buy presents. And that seriously meant the world to me. I remember I bought my mom like a Lulu sweater. I got my dad his coffee. I got my brothers some like silly random water guns or whatever. But it meant the world to me. And when I started, I didn't really have expectations to make $1 million or anything like that. I was just pumped to have a little bit of extra money for gas, groceries, to help me pay for my rent for school and all of those things. So just making a little bit of money was super exciting for me because I would be doing this anyways. I would be working out anyways because I've always liked health and fitness. And then when I got really good results, I was like, dang, I definitely want to share about this because it's helped me a ton. And I know so many other people would benefit from this. So that's definitely where I started. It was only, a couple $100 here and there every month, which was to me everything while I was poor in school, because the 5 or 6 years before that, I had taken out a loan. I was using money that wasn't even mine. So it was cool to be able to make money while in school.
And I think it's important to note that regardless of who you sign up with, whether it's, whoever your coach is, what determines your success in this business, what determines your level of income has nothing to do with, Beachbody essentially, has nothing to do with your peers and around you. Only you are in control of that. You are in the driver's seat. You either do it or you don't. You either work or you don't. You show up or you don't, right? So it's a direct reflection of your effort and your time. Repeated, effort and time repeated. Because we didn't make our first $1,000 week didn't happen right away. Our first $2,000 week didn't happen right away. $3,000, $4,000 didn't happen right away. That took time. And time alone will not get you there. It is effort and consistency, like Virginia said. And if you guys have read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, that is one of my absolute favorite books for anyone who wants to become a entrepreneur, for anybody who wants to become successful in their weight loss journey. Basically, the gist of it is small behaviors repeated over and over and over consistently over time will get you massive results. That goes for your fitness, that goes for your business. So just know that, you will get there one day. And a lot of people don't, because they give up. They're either, hard on themselves, or they have someone in their lives that's hard on them. They don't have a supportive spouse or someone in their ear telling them they can't. But one of the most incredible things about Beachbody, and I know that if there's any coaches on here right now watching this, is our emphasis on personal development. Our first and foremost goal for you is to get you healthy, to get you happy, and the rest will fall into place. Because if you're not healthy and you're not happy and you're not on a journey that's bettering you, it is hard to help others. So just make sure that, every day you're reading your personal development. And we have recommendations for everything. And we have podcasts and books and things that will fill your soul and fill your heart and build you up. Because you want to know what? When I first started coaching, was I confident about it? No. In fact, I was kind of embarrassed about it because I didn't want people from my hometown to know or to make fun of me. And then eventually I started diving into personal development to grow myself personally and to become a better person, a stronger woman, to become more confident. And that changed the game, because if you're not willing to grow internally, how are you going to blossom into a wildly successful entrepreneur? So if you take anything from this call from me, I want it to be pick up personal development, whether you coach or not. I want you to pick up personal development to become a stronger, better, happier version of you.
Amen. I love that. And before I started Beachbody, I honestly had no idea what personal development was. So if you're sitting there like, I don't even know what she's talking about, don't worry, because that was me. And the first book that I read too was The Compound Effect, and it will help you in all aspects of your life, not just Beachbody coaching, all aspects of your life. So since we shared about our very first month or couple weeks as a coach, now we're going to share about our last week as a coach, which is mind-blowing. And it was crazy, actually. I'm going to keep this short, but quick story. This last weekend, I was in my friend's wedding, and she's a pharmacist. I met her at pharmacy school. And all weekend long, I got the question from her aunts and her uncles, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm an online health and fitness coach. And they're like, I thought you went to pharmacy school with her. And I'm like, I did. And they're like, huh, but you do that. And I'm like, yeah. And then my other friend, who's also a Beachbody coach, chimed in that, she makes more than she would as a pharmacist. And she chimed that in. I never really say it. I just love watching people's faces as they're very confused. But anyways, I don't feel like I need to justify it because I know what it's done for me. And it's pretty amazing and mind-blowing. But this past week, So we get paid every single Thursday in the Beachbody world. And this past Thursday, we made just over $6,000, which is like insane for 1 week. And it's pretty cool because my 5-year anniversary is December 6th. So almost 5 years into the business, making $6,000 a week is pretty incredible. So I just want you guys to know the potential in this business, because the very first webinar that I watched, I remember seeing, she said that she made $10,000 in a week. And I was like, is she serious? Like, is that actually possible? But in the back of my head, the whole time I've been a coach, I'm like, you know what? She did it. Why can't I? And I want you guys to think the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's incredible. And when Jen said that the potential is limitless, it really is true. If you wanted to do this just on the side, just to fill your soul and to help a few people, that's doable. If you want to do it between classes to keep you accountable on your fitness journey, that's totally cool too. If you want to go all in and try and make $6,000 a week like us, you can. You 100% can. It's a decision you have to make yourself. And I think you can tell if you are ever to visit our social media platforms, Instagram in specific, you can feel that energy. We're in. We are all in. We bleed Beachbody blue, and we are loud and proud. And I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of. I remember when I first started that I almost had this sense of guilt, and I didn't want to talk about it. And I think that would be doing a disservice. I think it's important to talk about it and to let people know that this opportunity exists. There's no forcing. There's no coercing. You do it if you want, because you know what? You can't force someone to start a business that they're not going to run. Like, what's the point of that? We want to work with people who are so invested, who are in this to win this. And it's incredibly rewarding. And then I guess there was, I think the other question was, can you explain the rankings of Beachbody coaches? So it's pretty simple. Basically, it just means every time you mentor, like let's say you have 2 coaches that you mentor, you're considered an emerald coach. They're kind of just made up terms, but an emerald coach means you have you're mentoring 2 people. If you're mentoring 8 people, 2 of which are emeralds themselves, that's considered a diamond coach. And then as you grow your business and you're helping other people reach those levels, then you star diamond, whatever the case may be. But truly that just means that there's, the amount of people on your team and you're growing them. But what matters most is that you're being a mentor to them, because in Beachbody, you get paid a couple different ways. You get paid in commission. Just 25% of all the sales that you make go in your pocket. Hands down, no questions asked, you make commission. But then as you grow a team, you get bonuses for helping people grow their business. You do not get paid just for people signing up. Beachbody rewards coaches who actually help their team succeed, because you're not going to benefit from anyone unless you're actively involved in helping them grow. And so that's Beachbody's way of rewarding it. And then you get a team bonus. Everybody gets to get a bonus, and that ends up being the bulk of your income as you get going. But you have to be a present leader. That's why I'm constantly honing that leadership bone in my body, trying to constantly fine tune my skills and read up and be the best leader I can be, because not only does it make me successful, but it makes my team wildly successful too. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a coach on this call who has gone full time and she knows who she is. And I'm staring at her right now. Coaches on my team who have paid off debt, who've paid off credit card bills. And Jen knows this feeling too, seeing her coaches go full time, seeing them drop jobs and pick up and run wildly successful businesses. That is incredible. So just know there's opportunity out there for you. So we're over the half an hour mark. And I guess we tried to keep it to half.
Always try, but we never do. There's so much to say. But I want to add in like everything that Beachbody has brought, because I feel like sometimes we really dive into specific parts, but I just want to like overview everything that it's brought for the both of us. So if you guys didn't know, Kirsten and I actually didn't even know each other before Beachbody. Like, we grew up like an hour and a half from each other, but we literally did not know of each other until Beachbody. We signed up around the same time, and that's when we started working together. And this past summer, I was actually in her wedding. So that's also kind of mind-blowing that you can meet amazing people through this opportunity. And some of my top coaches I consider my best friends because I work so closely with them. And you just have so much in common with them that it's easy to create a very awesome friendship. we've got to go on so many trips together. Like, I think, Kirsten, we've traveled together more than any of our other friends.
I think I've traveled with you more than I've traveled with my husband, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, like it's insane because once a year we have a big coach meetup called Summit. I went to Vegas, and then we went to Nashville twice, New Orleans, Indianapolis last year.
Mexico.
And then, yes, we also have a Success Club trip, which I actually didn't even get to go on this until like my 3rd year. So don't think that you sign up and you get to go on all these trips right away. It does happen over time. But yeah, we got to go to Mexico, Dominican Republic this next year, going on a cruise. So there's a ton of things that also come with coaching, not just income, not just fitness, but friendship, trips, the ability to pay off your debt. I know for me, this is my new office. We just moved into our new house in June. And honestly, you guys, it was because of Beachbody. My husband's been able to, he stepped away from his full-time job to pursue his dream of becoming a motivational speaker. And he was playing basketball, and he's got to do all these things because of Beachbody, which is like absolutely amazing. And I feel like sometimes on social media I don't share enough about that because it is kind of personal. But since I know that you guys are interested in this business, I want to make sure that you guys know like everything that this opportunity has brought into our lives.
And I think for me, I wasn't in a financial hard spot when I started, but that I wanted to provide more. I wanted to be able to say yes to things in my life, because prior to this, I was at a job that literally sucked the soul out of my body, and I would cry on my way to work, and it was really hard, and it really messed with my mental health and my physical health too. And then finally, as I got more successful, I had the courage to quit that job, and now I just do dental hygiene. On a casual basis, I'm able to work like when I want. I get to see the patients that I love. And then when we have kids, I don't have to go back. But for me, over the last, 4.5 years, we've had like a lot of sick family members, and we've had a lot going on, and the gift of time, I can't even put a price on that. Being able to spend extra time with people who are unwell and not have to ask anyone for time off, being able to drop what I'm doing and go somewhere and spend time with my family, that's everything to me. And I could care less about fancy handbags and fancy cars. But if I can afford to just live my life how I want and spend my time how I want and be comfortable and not have to worry about my bills, that is everything. And that is everything. And the only reason that's a possibility is because of Beachbody. And I will shout that on the rooftop and let people know that that is an option for them too. It takes time, but it is an option.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. And I know for me too, since I've been at home, I've been able to hang out with my parents so much, you guys. And if I was working a full-time job as a pharmacist, I know that I would not. And even this past summer, I went back home to Canada for I think I was there for 6 weeks this summer. And I didn't have to ask for time off. I could work while I was there, and I could just hang out with family and friends. And it's just an incredible feeling to have that freedom in your life. Mm-hmm. So I guess we should start to wrap it up. Basically, we want to end with what's next. Okay, you guys have listened to this call. You're like, I'm super excited, or you may have more questions. If you have more questions, message us or post in that Beachbody FAQ group if you still have some questions after this. For people who have bought challenge packs before, you can sign up for free. For people that have no idea, never used anything, the only thing you need to sign up is your own products, which in the US, it's $160. In Canada, what's
$180.
$180. So that's paying for workouts for an entire year, your Shakeology, a month's supply of Shakeology, that pays for the coach sign-up fee. That's everything. So it's a very good deal. And then from there, we will put you into our new coach training so that you can start learning and start sharing on social media and hopping on to our team calls. We do our calls on this Zoom app as well, usually once a week. What else, Kirsten?
I think that's about it. Honestly, like we said, you don't have to worry about stock or inventory or paying, $600 to fill your room to ship off product. That's not required. We don't believe in that. We believe in you getting your product, being a product of the product, using it, And actually, we now have the option. You can get the performance line, which is our pre-workout and post-workout, if you wanted to, instead of Shakeology. I know I like switching it up and having, both kicking around. And just know that once you become a coach, your workouts and your nutrition programs and your products all become a business expense. So come tax time, those are expendable, right? So just remember that. And you can also write off your computer, your laptop, your phone bill, your workout shoes, advertising stuff, maybe a photo shoot that you're going to do. Maybe you have to travel to Summit. Maybe you have to travel to a maybe you're going to go to a Super Saturday conference quarterly. Whatever you do for your business, it's a business. So keep track of that and you get to write it off. So like I said, I'm cheap. Can you tell? I like a deal. What can I say?
Yes. So I think we covered everything.
Sure. Yeah. And if you guys want to right now, if you want to ask us a question, feel free to do so right now while you have us here, or else we can wrap it up and go from there. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that sums it up. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. We are freaking passionate about this business, and I wouldn't spend my Tuesday evening any other way.
Thank you guys so much for hopping on, and thank you to everyone who's listening to the recording. We're super excited for you, and we hope that we answered a lot of your questions and filled you in about what exactly we do on social media to make a living.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.